One grassroots organization wants to enlist perhaps the second most well-known Hoosier of our time. He was born in a small town and is known occasionally to ROCK in the USA. Countdown-Mellancamp, who lives in Bloomington, Indiana, has neither confirmed nor denied he's interested in running. A longtime supporter of Democratic causes and candidates, Mellencamp's populist anthems and advocacy for farmers, making him a likely proponent for the working class. Brent Podowski, a former aide to Senator Birchby, who will join us momentarily, touching upon that sentiment in The Hill, writing that Mellancamp is, quote, one of the great advocates of small-town America, the kind of square deal for Americans that Teddy Roosevelt once championed. The news of possible candidate Mellancamp causing the conservative blog Hot Air to sneer, this tool is very far left in a moment when being very far left isn't exactly a political asset. Odd, considering that such the lefty tool, he attracted the likes of John McCain, who played pink houses in Our Country at his campaign rallies until Mr. Mellancamp asked him to stop, pointing out also that a true conservative probably shouldn't subscribe to a populist pro-labor message. Ain't that America? I actually got to talk about this with the most well-known Hoosier during my visit to his show, which will air later tonight on CBS.
One of the senators from my home state, the senior senator, of course, Richard Lugar, and Evan Bayh, son of Birchby, longtime senator from Indiana, announced that he would not seek re-election because he couldn't get anything done in Congress. And while I'm sure that's true, doesn't that put an end to his political career? Because he's just saying, I can't work in a political system. I'm going to open a wallpaper store. I mean, isn't really that what he did?
I think, well, yeah, I think we're giving him a show on MSNBC, in fact, which is a little,
well, there you go.
It's a little lower than a wallpaper store, but you know who they're trying to get to replace him, right? John Mellancamp.
Oh, I heard that. I saw that in the paper today. Now, that's fantasy. He wouldn't do it.
Why not?
I know that John Mellancamp smokes cigarettes.
Well, I know that the President of the United States smokes cigarettes.
And see, look at the trouble he's having.
You have me there, Dave. Joining me now, as promised, Brent Podowski, former aide to Indiana Senator Birchby and current columnist for The Hill newspaper. Thanks for some of your time tonight, sir.
Pleasure to be here.
Well, here's the question. Any word on how John Mellancamp feels about this draft Mellancamp movement?
No, not yet. What's happening is these events happen suddenly and quickly out of nowhere when Evan Bayh surprised everybody and decided he wasn't going to run again. There were thousands of good, patriotic Americans all over the country, and in Indiana especially, who were rallying to try to draft him. This came out of the blue. It's a grassroots movement from people who care about America. There's nothing in it for them except a better country and a better Indiana. And as they mobilize right now, I think, you know, Mr. Mellancamp is probably digesting events as all of us are.
You called this possibility an inspired idea. Why particularly that choice of words?
Well, I think what Democrats should stand for and have a candidate for is the idea that we fight for people, as Mellancamp does, who are having their homes foreclosed. We don't fight for people, as his probable opponent, Dan Coates, the former senator and bank lobbyist. We don't fight for people who are doing fundraisers for banks and writing bills to make banks wealthier and to throw people out of their homes. We fight for people the way John Mellancamp does, to keep small-town America alive, to keep jobs in this country. We don't fight for people the way the Republicans do, the way his opponent, Senator Coates, probably will, who want to outsource jobs, who want to close down small towns and be crushed in the economy. So we want a country and candidates like John Mellancamp who really believe in the heartland of America, the soul of America, the character of America, the decency of America, the working people and the farmers. I mean, the work that he did on Farm Aid is spectacular with Willie Nelson, another great American. The work that Mellancamp did with veterans when he went to Walter Reed Hospital and did a wonderful and moving and personal concert, you know, for the heroes who came back wounded from Afghanistan and Iraq. A whole lifetime, Keith, of fighting for heartland America, and what they offer is a lifetime and a career of fighting for banks and Wall Street and foreclosures.
It's an old-fashioned notion these days with Scott Brown's being elected and Al Franken's being elected, not that I'm equating the two of them, but is it an advantage to not have a political record before you run for office these days?
I think it's an advantage to have spent your life trying to help people and running against a party that hopes America fails That's what the Republicans have become, the Hope America Fails Party. We saw that again today at the Convention of Conservatives, because they hate the president so much and they want to win, they have to hope the country fails so the president won't succeed. To have the experience of being a bank lobbyist and a Wall Street lobbyist and going to bank fundraisers and supporting the people who are foreclosing homeowners, who are raising credit card rates for people all over Indiana, who are cheating Americans left and right. That's the kind of experience that his opponent would have, and I think the kind of experience of fighting for small towns and people hoping to keep their homes and to keep jobs in America and to keep our country flourishing. I think Mellencamp has the kind of experience that Americans want. There has been an outpouring of support from the grassroots, from people who want to be proud again and believe again, with having people like John Mellencamp, who has the kind of experience that Americans value, not the Washington hack lobbyist campaign money experience. I mean, 80% of Americans hate the Supreme Court decision and want it reversed that allows companies to buy elections. And that's what Dan Coates comes out of and what the Republicans want. And Mellencamp is for the people.
Brent Podowski, a columnist for The Hill. You can throw in there as well that in a small room with, say, 1,000 people at a time, he makes a heck of an impression. Great thanks for your time tonight, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That's Countdown. I'm Keith Olbermann. Good night and good luck.